And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. A great program, as I said, and I mentioned earlier, a surprise guest for you. But before that, call with your car questions. Miss Jan will take your call, put you in the queue at 888 Car Clinic, and I'll put you on the air. Folks, Velocity and Discovery Channel shift into new gear this year with exceptional cars that shine brighter than the desert stars during, you got it, Barrett-Jackson live from Scottsdale, Arizona from Tuesday, this past Tuesday, January 17th through tomorrow, Sunday, January the 22nd. One of the biggest annual automotive events in America, the Barrett-Jackson Scottsdale auction features thousands of bidders, discerning collectors, big dreamers, leading athletes, and top celebrities vying to ensure their fantasy becomes reality. I know this thrill personally. Joining the crew this year as a special correspondent is Velocity's Dave Kindig of the hit series Bitchin'Rides. I know you've seen him, as have I. Kindig is a self-made custom car fabricator, joined the on-air coverage there at Barrett-Jackson to share his classic automotive knowledge from on the ground and around the block. And having said that, Dave, I don't know how you're going to follow, but it's great to have you in the house here. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Well, thanks for having me, Bobby. I'm very excited to be here, as well as on your radio station. This has really been a fun week. A lot of excitement. What a great party.
Well, let's start off just by sharing with our Car Clinic listeners and viewers what makes it so special at Barrett-Jackson Auction. What is so special about Barrett-Jackson?
You know, Barrett-Jackson actually is a very unique organization. This company has really been around for a long time. In fact, I think this year is over 20 years of live coverage of the Barrett-Jackson Scottsdale auction. And I've been coming to this one actually since 2006. And, you know, every year it just seems to get bigger and bigger, and the numbers get bigger and more impressive. And what's really cool about this venue and this company is they really take the time to make sure that there's something for everybody. There's art galleries, there's vendors, and, of course, there's the cars that are going up that you could own if you have the right number. So it's just a really cool experience, and what a great venue.
So, Dave, this is your first year covering the auction there on site. Can you tell us about what you'll bring to the coverage?
You know, I'm hoping to bring a little bit of excitement towards the custom side. You know, Barrett-Jackson has been known so many years for their salon vehicles, you know, the super rare Rolls-Royces, the Bugattis, the Packards, some of the really rare numbers-matching muscle cars. But really, as time has gone on, people have gotten a flair for more of the street rods, the hot rods, the modified muscle cars. And so, you know what? There's really there's a seat for everybody here. And, you know, it's really cool the fact that they've been able to collect all of these vehicles in one place and offer them to the public. And, you know, it's just a really cool experience. So for me, I'm going to really try and focus more on the custom stuff, just simply because that's more of my, you know, forte, my background.
Right. Well, if you would, Dave, share with our Car Clinic listeners and viewers, are there any special vehicles that are particularly interesting to you this year?
Well, sure, because I'm selling two of them. No, actually, you know what? There's some really cool stuff. You know, one of which is Pete Shapiro said, you know, a good friend of ours, obviously, that we've lost a couple of weeks ago. I was a big fan of Pete and SoCal street runs. And, you know, Jimmy Shine worked for him at a point and then went out on his own. And he's got a really cool pickup that he's going to be selling down here. I think that one's going to bring some really big numbers because Jimmy is a very accomplished fabricator and designer himself. There's a lot of really great stuff out here. I mean, you know, a lot of Volkswagens, which I'm kind of big into. That's where I got my start in hot rodding. So there's just a lot of stuff that stands out. It's like eye candy. Everywhere you turn your head, it's just one car after another. You just go, man, I could see that in my driveway.
That's cool. We're talking with Dave Kindig, special correspondent for the Barrett-Jackson auction in Scottsdale this week, and Dave's host of Bitchin'Rides on Velocity TV. But Dave, in your show, Bitchin'Rides on Velocity, you build some of the most extraordinary dream cars from the wheels up. Share with us, have any of your pieces gone up for bid at the Barrett-Jackson auction?
Yeah, actually, some of my first cars that I sold here was actually in 2010. I had built a 56 Chevy for Larry Johnson. It was a really nice brown and white one, which I actually developed my original set of smooth door handles, which we have a patent on now, and we sell quite a few of those. They're a great addition to a vehicle. And then fast forward to 2012, I sold 4 vehicles, Mustang, a Camaro, Corvette and a 34 Roadster. We did really well on that one. It was a great time. Last year I sold a Roadster and also a 65 Galaxy. So this year I've got a Volkswagen bus and a 2010 Camaro with wide body with twin turbos and a supercharger, and we're expecting that one to do really well as well.
I'm sure it does well on the street as well with all the power it's got.
It's an animal.
Yeah. As we've seen on your show, people come from all over the world just to have you build and customize their dream cars, just like people come from all over the world to Barrett-Jackson Auction to see and bid on those amazing vehicles. And just a reminder to our Car Clinic listeners and viewers that the Barrett-Jackson Auction in Scottsdale will air on both the Discovery and Velocity networks through tomorrow, Sunday, January 22nd. What do you think, Dave, it is about cars that creates so much passion in people?
I think everybody growing up has a memory of being in a car of, an uncle or a grandfather or even their own parents. And for me, my passion really came very early on. I always had an imagination of what if. So between playing with my Hot Wheels or building Legos or plastic models, I always had this dream of what if you took the roof off of this car and put it on this one and change the shape and change the color. And so I was very passionate about Volkswagens, as I got a little bit older. I always kind of looked at something as a shape, and finding a personality in it. That certainly is my passion. I think everybody's passion could come from anything, being inspired by somebody that they grew up around or admired, and things that they admired, by looking through magazines or seeing them in person. So I think everybody's got a car guy in them, car guy or gal.
I agree. I would agree with that to some extent. And as you said, there's a seat for everyone, and no doubt there at Barrett-Jackson this year, folks, you got to tune in and take a look. And you also got to look for Dave Kindig on site there. And on the block, that's going to be a real fun time. Dave, I was always a car guy. I read magazines and books. Never thought that I would have such a great career in the automotive industry. And what you bring to the table and what you bring on television is not only your talents and about, obviously, how to cut a roof off of a car. And I haven't figured out how your team does that right just yet, You must measure twice and cut once, or I don't know, but I'm sure that's a very exciting event sometimes when you walk back into one of those shops and say, oh, no, who cut it here?
Well, I always say they get real ugly before they get real pretty.
Yeah. So. I can just see it in my mind. Dave Kindig, special correspondent. This is a new gig for Dave for the Barrett-Jackson Auction in Scottsdale this week. And, of course, host of Bitchin'Rides on Velocity TV. Dave, sure is great to have you here on Bobby Likis Car Clinic. One final question, a website where our listeners and viewers can find out more about Dave Kindig and Bitchin'Rides.
The best place to go is my website, kindigit.com. That's KINDIGIT.com. Go on there. There's lots of eye candy. The gallery is filled with vehicles that we've built before, both on and off television. So a lot of great stuff on there. Can't miss it.
That's great. Dave Kindig from the Barrett-Jackson Auction in Scottsdale. Dave, I'll let you get back to the block. Wish I were there in the house with you. Thank you so much for your time today and for being a guest on Bobby Likis Car Clinic and sharing all the great stories that you have. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, Bobby. Thank you.